guys? The phenomenal AJ Styles, and you're watching Bretto.
Week in Review, episode 198 starts now. We are going to jump into Monday Night Raw first. This was the Raw after the Royal Rumble 2023. It was a pretty action-packed Monday Night Raw, full of promos, full of matches, full of decent storytelling. We're going to jump into it right now in a setup style. I'm going to tell you what happened, tell you what I thought about it. Then we're going to jump into SmackDown about halfway through the video. Make sure to follow me on Instagram, link in the description and the name right here, and let's jump into the vid. We opened up the show with the 2023 Men's Royal Rumble winner, which of course was Cody Rhodes. If you guys didn't already see the Royal Rumble review video, check that video out. It's on the channel as well as a bunch of other bangers. Check them all out. But anyways, Cody Rhodes opened the show talking about if he had a chance to talk to his younger self, what he would tell him. He went through basically his entire career from Stardust to leaving WWE to his the early age of 19, starting WWE, all the way up until now when he won the Royal Rumble. This was an absolutely fantastic promo. He, of course, did challenge Roman Reigns for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship at WrestleMania. I think that's pretty cool. I wish Roman was having two matches so they could split the belts, but maybe Cody wins the belts and then's like, I only need this WWE Championship. I'm relinquishing the Universal Championship to somebody else. We need to split these belts. Maybe he can do that. But this was a fantastic promo, getting the point across that he wants Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. He did get interrupted by the Judgment Day. The Judgment Day came out, mainly Finn Balor, Damian Priest, and Dominic Mysterio, and they were pissed off. They're like, Cody Rhodes, the Royal Rumble winner should have been Dominic Mysterio. After all the trash talking was done, there was a match set up for later in the show, the main event between Finn Balor and Cody Rhodes. But then Edge had come out and started taking to the Judgment Day. Cody Rhodes joined the brawl, and he started taking it to the Judgment Day as well. I thought it was going to turn into maybe a tag team match, but it didn't. It remained Finn Balor versus Cody Rhodes in the main event of the show, which I will talk about a little later. Opening match, it was Seth Rollins going one-on-one with Chad Gable. This was an Elimination Chamber qualifier match. This year's Elimination Chamber match is going to be for the United States Championship, which I find pretty freaking cool. I'm into that. I think it's very unique other than the WWE Championship. I mean, the United States title being put on the line in the chamber, that's going to be epic. It was Seth Rollins versus Chad Gable, and this was like one of the best matches of the night. This was such an awesome technical match, reversal after reversal between these two. There was an amazing roll-up maneuver into a pedigree that Seth Rollins hit in the end to pick up the victory. So that Seth Rollins moves on to the Elimination Chamber, and he had a great showing here against Chad Gable. Chad Gable is such a good wrestler, dude. So is Seth Rollins. Oh my goodness. Candice LeRae went one-on-one with Io Sky of Damage Control. This match wasn't half bad. Back and forth action up until the end. Damage Control started getting involved, but then Meech and Mia Yim ran out to maybe even up the odds, but it wasn't enough. Io Sky was still able to take out Candice LeRae and pick up the victory. As far as this goes, though, I could really care less. The match was boring. Ending was boring. Wasn't into it. Rhea Ripley made her presence felt here on Monday Night Raw by coming out to the ring and making her mindset clear to these WWE fans. She said, Oklahoma, I choose Charlotte Flair for the WrestleMania match. I thought for sure she was going to choose Bianca Belair and dethrone Bianca at WrestleMania, but honestly, I think they have bigger plans for Bianca. Maybe Bianca faces a bigger name. I mean, I'm not saying Rhea and Charlotte aren't a bigger name, but I mean, I think Bianca's going to face somebody like super big, maybe even in a return. But Rhea did choose Charlotte Flair. She's going to be fighting for the SmackDown Women's Championship. She brought up about how at WrestleMania 36, she faced Charlotte for the NXT Championship and did come up short, so she wants more redemption here for the SmackDown Women's Championship here at WrestleMania 39. I am looking forward to it. Charlotte versus Rhea rematch at WrestleMania. That's going to be absolutely epic. Johnny Gargano went one-on-one with Baron Corbin in another Elimination Chamber qualifiers match. This match wasn't too bad. Dexter Lumis was on ringside, toying with JBL and his hat. He brought out a pickaxe, a handheld pickaxe, and he freaking slammed it through the hat of JBL to distract Baron Corbin, and then Johnny Gargano was able to pin Baron Corbin center of the ring, and then they sort of just stood by the announce desk. This match was a little goofy to me. I couldn't really get into it. Of course, there was some decent action between Gargano and Corbin, but as far as the entire match goes, It was an episode of the VIP Lounge, special guest being Austin Theory, the youngest United States champion of all time. This VIP Lounge wasn't too bad. Austin Theory started making fun of Bobby Lashley, and then Bobby Lashley had come out, and then Bobby Lashley accidentally speared MVP when he was going for Austin Theory. So you got to think Bobby Lashley's going to be one of those participants in the Elimination Chamber. He just got to get in there first. But yeah, he accidentally spears MVP, and I guess it just tosses up the relationship. Like, oh, is MVP like still with Bobby Lashley? Are they going to revamp the Hurt Business? Like, I don't know. We'll have to see though. Rick Boogs is back on Monday Night Raw. He interrupted The Miz after Adam Pearce introduced him, and then him and The Miz had a match, and The Miz was wearing a suit the entire time. Like, poor Miz, dude. He stood no chance against an absolute jacked Rick Boogs that we haven't seen since WrestleMania 38 when I believe it was his quad that gave out when he picked up both Usos. But yeah, it's good to see him back in the ring. He took out The Miz. He pinned him 1, 2, 3, and he was going crazy. No guitar, though. I think it would have been pretty cool to have him with his guitar up there. But, I mean, then again, he sings Shinsuke Nakamura's theme song, so I guess it wouldn't have worked because I think he's going more of a singles competitor now, which I can get with. He's jacked. He reminds me of Ultimate Warrior, and it was pretty cool. Dolph Ziggler went one-on-one with Bronson Reed, and it did not end well for Ziggler. I knew it wasn't going to either. I mean, Ziggler's great. I freaking love him. I consider him a legend. I'm not going to lie. I consider Dolph Ziggler a freaking legend in the business. But he went up against Bronson Reed, and this was the Elimination Chamber qualifiers match yet again. And Bronson Reed took care of Dolph Ziggler. He did that wicked freaking tsunami splash off the top rope, and he pinned Dolph 1, 2, 3. Bronson's pretty cool. I can get with Bronson Reed. But as far as him, taking out my boy Dolph Ziggler, I don't know. Bayley was coming out talking about how she duped the WWE Universe of a steel cage match last week, and everybody wasn't happy about that, including myself. So Becky Lynch brought out Dakota Kai with a steel chair around her freaking leg, basically forcing Bayley to accept a challenge for another steel cage match this coming week here on Monday Night Raw, and Bayley had no choice but to accept. Otherwise, Becky Lynch would have destroyed the leg of Dakota Kai. So Bayley accepted. The match was made official by Adam Pearce, and they will be having a match next week on Raw. But before Becky Lynch had brought out Dakota Kai, they had an amazing promo. Like, Bayley was literally tearing up Becky Lynch, in my opinion. It felt a little real after Bayley had said, "Rebecca, I don't like you." I was like, whoa. Like, this just feels real now. I like this. Great promo between these two, and I wasn't expecting much from it. I really enjoyed this. And jumping into our main event, it was Cody Rhodes going one-on-one with Finn Balor. What a match. What a main event. I enjoyed this match. Back and forth action. Cody cutters. Disaster kicks. Finn Balor kicking some butt with Cody Rhodes. It was great. Judgment Day was on ringside, posing his factors to almost help Finn Balor win the match, but then Edge and Beth Phoenix came out to even the odds, and Rhea Ripley was also taken out. I'm going to put her over there. Boom! Rhea Ripley was also taken out by Beth Phoenix with a spear because she started attacking Edge, but then Beth is like, nah, that ain't happening. So Beth comes out, spears Rhea, they take out Judgment Day, and then in the ring, Cody Rhodes hits 3 crossroads to Finn Balor to win the match and end the show. He did need some help from Edge, though, but it was still great. I really enjoyed that main event. Good to see Cody Rhodes back in a wrestling ring, dude. It was awesome. But yeah, guys, that was Monday Night Raw setup style. In the end, I'm going to give Raw a solid 3 out of 5. I thought it was a solid show. Action-packed. Some boring stuff, though, of course. You guys already know it's Monday Night Raw. There's always going to be some boring stuff. They got to filler with that freaking 3-hour time. They got to add some filler. But yeah, guys, that was Raw. 3 out of 5. We're going to jump into SmackDown now. Where is Jey Uso? We opened up this show with the Bloodline pulling up to the arena, and they were like, where's Jey? Where's Jey? Roman Reigns put Solo Sikoa and Jimmy Uso on the hunt for Jey Uso, and they couldn't find him. They contacted him via telephone, but they still couldn't find him. Where is Jey? Do we get that answer by the end of the night? I will talk about it. But other than that, guys, this is an episode of SmackDown. We're going to jump right in. Opening match of the night. It was Braun Strowman and Ricochet going up against Ludwig Kaiser and Giovanni Vinci of Imperium. This was a SmackDown Tag Team Championship Contenders match. The winner of this match goes on to face the Usos next week on SmackDown for the SmackDown Tag Team titles. This was the finals of the bracket. It was a pretty decent bracket. I did enjoy. Gunther was on ringside for Ludwig Kaiser and Giovanni Vinci. He pushed Ricochet on the ground, literally so blatant, right in front of the referee. I'm like, what the heck? Is the referee not going to kick him out? And the referee did eventually kick Gunther out, and then that led to Ricochet and Braun Strowman hitting this very unique double team maneuver where Ricochet was on top of the shoulders of Braun, and then he did a front senton right on top of Ludwig Kaiser to pin him and win the match. They're going to be facing the Usos next week on SmackDown. If they could find Jey Uso, We'll see what happens with that. Is he going to pull up to SmackDown next week? We'll have to freaking see. But as far as this match goes as an opener, I did enjoy it. It was Rey Mysterio and Dominic Mysterio facing each other in a NASCAR race. I was like, what the heck is going on? This was a big sponsorship for some sort of NASCAR Coliseum show that's coming up pretty soon. So they put Rey Mysterio and Dominic Mysterio in NASCARs, and they raced around a track, and of course, Rey Mysterio won. I was like, dude, come on. Rey Mysterio was able to win, even in a NASCAR match. I would have loved to have seen them in the ring instead of on a NASCAR track facing each other, because I feel like we really haven't gotten our final match between these two, as Dominic is a heel, Rey is a face. I would just love to see a match between these two, like a real one, not a NASCAR race. But Rey Mysterio didn't win the NASCAR race, and it was pretty cringy, I'm not going to lie. Charlotte Flair went one-on-one as a fighting champion against Sonya Deville. This was, of course, for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Charlotte Flair was able to pick up the victory with the figure 8 over Sonya Deville. This was pretty obvious that Charlotte was going to win here, but like I said, it wasn't a half-bad match. Charlotte retains the belt. I don't know who she's going to face at Elimination Chamber, but I am looking forward to it. The Brawling Brutes, Ridge Holland and Butch, did go up against the Viking Idiots. The match wasn't too bad. I wasn't really into it. I couldn't really get into it. I don't like the Viking Idiots, the Viking Raiders, whatever you guys want to call them. I'm not a fan. I feel like they do the same thing every time they're out there. Valhalla is on ringside looking like an idiot. It's just dumb. But anyways, the Viking Raiders were able to win with a double powerbomb, and then they were walking up the ramp, and as they were, Drew McIntyre's music hit, and then they got attacked by Drew McIntyre and Sheamus. Of course, getting a little redemption to what happened last week, how the Viking Raiders attacked them. Pretty similar to what happened last week, just, opposite. It wasn't half bad, though. I hope we see a solid tag team match between the Viking Raiders and Drew McIntyre and Sheamus. I would definitely be for that. Moving over here is a very fast Fatal 4-Way match between Natalya, Selena Vega, Shotzi Blackheart, and Shayna Baszler. This match wasn't too bad. I was surprised that freaking Natalya won this match. This was an Elimination Chamber qualifiers match, and I forgot. I'm surprised I did not think of this before the match began, because I always like to try to predict who's going to win a match before the match actually begins. I'm like, oh yeah, Elimination Chamber is in Montreal, Quebec, Canada, and Natalya is Canadian, so it only makes sense if she won this match to have her in front of her hometown crowd. It would work, and she did win. She was able to pick up the victory, and I'm all for it. Glad Natalya was able to pick up the dub. Maybe she could do some cool stuff in the chamber. Obviously not win, but maybe do some pretty cool stuff. Roman Reigns, in the main promo of the show, comes out, and we needed to address the state of the bloodline. Of course, what happened after the Royal Rumble, Sami turning on Roman after Roman got in his face, Jey Uso not taking part in the beatdown, walking away from the bloodline. The bloodline is in pieces right now. It's like shattered glass that needs to be glued back together. Roman Reigns was out there he's about to talk about Sami Zayn, and then Sami Zayn out of nowhere attacks Roman Reigns from behind, starts taking him out, and this crowd went berserk. I loved this moment, dude. Sami Zayn had his Sami Uso shirt on, but the Uso was covered up with Zayn, and I just thought it was so freaking sick, bro. This crowd was unglued. Paul Heyman runs out of the ring. Solo Sikoa and Jimmy Uso eventually come down after Sami Zayn had gotten Roman out of the ring. He was about to nail him with a steel chair, but then Solo and Jimmy came out to, take out Sami. The numbers game caught up to Sami Zayn, and then they got him in the corner. Solo was about to ram his butt right into the face of Sami Zayn with a steel chair, but then Roman Reigns stopped Solo Sikoa, and he's like, I need to talk to Sami. So he talked to Sami. He's like, I want you in Montreal. I'm going to embarrass you in front of your family, your hometown crowd, your peers, this, that. I'm like, whoa. Roman Reigns got serious with Sami Zayn, who was incapacitated. He couldn't fight back, so he was in the corner. But yeah, this was a great promo. I loved it. The fans were chanting Jey Uso, or something like that, or like, we want Jey. But I'm like, this is literally strictly between Sami and Roman. I don't know if they're going to want to involve Jey in this. I'm interested to see where Jey's going to come in, though, because I feel like he has to be involved in this. But I don't know what's going to happen, guys. You guys let me know what you guys think down in the comments down below. But I love this promo, and it was great, dude. As far as the show in a whole, it was not too bad. I did enjoy the Roman promo the most. In the end, I'm going to give this show a solid 2 out of 5. Like I said, the Roman promo was banging, bro. That was a 5 out of 5. But as far as the entire show in a whole, I'm just going to say 2 out of 5. A little boring. But you guys, that was Raw and SmackDown. We can review Setup episode 198. Really good. Enjoyed. Bretto Live. Out.